Thank you very much. Welcome to the North Oakland Concert Band's annual summer concert. Although a few hours ago I was going to call it our winter concert. But fortunately the sun has come out and it's beautiful tonight. We're glad to be here to kick off the start of the summer concert series, and it's so great to be able to perform in front of a live audience again. It's been over 15 months for us since we shut down. I am the president of the band. My name is Mark Buchanan. We are very excited that this concert is also being live streamed on Orion Neighborhood Television and the internet. We welcome those of you who are watching on TV. We wish you could be here, but it's great that you can also watch us. And we'd like to say thank you to everyone who has made this concert possible, the people here at Wildwood and ONTV. If you'd like some more information about the band, please go to our website at www.nocb.org. You can sign up on our mailing list, or if you'd like to make a donation, your donations, your tax-deductible donations, support these concerts. Please remember to shut off your cell phones. And so let's get started. Steven Spielberg's debut film of the Indiana Jones series, Raiders of the Lost Ark, took theaters by storm in 1981. John Williams' soundtrack features a rousing march that would eventually serve as the main theme for all 4 Indiana Jones movies. The march theme and the film's love theme, both included in this arrangement, have become instantly recognizable as unforgettable musical images of the iconic adventurer. We open tonight's concert with Raiders March by John Williams. Now please welcome our conductor, Annette Klein.
We're switching it up on you tonight, and I am Robin Myers. Obviously, I'm in the flute and piccolo section, and I'll be your moderator for the rest of the program. It is so good, as Mark said, to see you guys out there. It chokes us up because we've been out for 15 months. We've live streamed our concerts. We've played with an East and West NOCB, a wall between us, bell covers, face mask, you name it. So we are back to normal, and I am so happy to see you guys. Thank you so much for coming out and spending this night with us. Thank you. One little tidbit of information that I found as I was leaving tonight to come here is yesterday, unbeknownst to many of us, it was International World Music Day yesterday on June 21st. And it was first celebrated in 1982 in Paris, France. And the person that came up with the idea was Jack Lang. And there was another gentleman that I've forgotten his name now. But so yesterday was World International Day, and the reason for it was to bring professional and amateur musicians out to play. And here we are. So without further ado, The Great Race is a 1965 American Technicolor slapstick comedy film starring Jack Lemmon, Tony Curtis, and Natalie Wood, and it was directed by Blake Edwards with classic music by Henry Mancini. The supporting cast included Peter Falk, Keenan Wynn, Arthur O'Connell, and of course Vivian Vance. The movie at the time cost $12 million to make, which is equivalent to $98 million by today's standards. It was the most expensive comedy film at the time. The outlandish story was inspired by the actual 1908 New York to Paris race and was nominated for 5 Academy Awards and actually won the Academy Award for Best Sound Editing. A spectacular motor car land race from New York to Paris in the early 20th century is planned, and the two main competitors were the handsome and dashing hero, which always wore white in the movie, and his name was the Great Leslie, played by Tony Curtis, and the dastardly black-suited Professor Fateh. While Fateh's sidekick, Max, attempts to sabotage Leslie and other racers, Leslie finds an unlikely ally in Maggie Dubois, a suffragette and journalist turned racer whose car happens to break down halfway through the event. The Great Race is a romp as only a director and an experienced cast assembled could pull off. It is a film that both celebrates and reinvents the art of storytelling on the big screen in an homage to the great silent stars Charlie Chaplin and Buster Keaton. There is more than enough action and plenty of pratfalls to keep even the most hyperactive kid riveted to the screen. So please enjoy the timeless musical selections from the 1965 movie The Great Race by the legendary Henry Mancini. The name Lerner and Loewe brings to mind the legendary team that gave the American musical theater some of its most memorable lyrics, engaging storylines, and powerful scores. The son of a famous Viennese opera tenor, Frederick Loewe began to study piano when he was 5, and at 13 became the youngest pianist ever to appear as soloist with the Berlin Symphony. Loewe came to the United States in 1924 to further his career as a piano virtuoso. Unable to get a hearing from managers, he decided to give up serious music, supporting himself for a while by playing piano in a Greenwich Village nightclub and working as a busboy in a cafeteria. Loewe eventually adopted a nomadic lifestyle, wandering across the U.S., taking on any job that came along. He had some success in the 1930s when some of his songs made it to Broadway productions. A change of fortune came when he met Alan J. Lerner at the Lambs Club in New York. Lerner was a Harvard graduate whose ambition was to write text and lyrics for the Broadway theater. His meeting with Loewe brought him a composer with a similar dream of Broadway. Written in the style of musical theater overtures, this arrangement by Warren Barker brings us memorable songs from the great Broadway production collaborations of Lerner and Loewe. Included in this arrangement are the romantic I Could Have Danced All Night and the Cockney song Get Me to the Church on Time from My Fair Lady, and the screen adaptation of Colette's Gigi provided us with Thank Heaven for Little Girls and The Night They Invented Champagne. The lavish production of Camelot included in the lovely If Ever I Would Leave You. Here we go with Lerner and Loewe in concert, arranged by Warren Barker. With 4 Oscars and 20 Grammys to his credit, Henry Mancini has given us some of the most recognizable themes for television and movies throughout the years. Meglio Stasera, known in English as It Had Better Be Tonight, is a song in samba rhythm with music by Henry Mancini's, Italian lyrics by Franco Migliacci, and English lyrics by the famous Johnny Mercer. It was composed for the 1963 film The Pink Panther, where it was performed by Fran Jeffries, who dressed in a black catsuit, sang in Italian while she slithered her way around an alpine ski chalet while the bewitched cast looked on. In addition to the vocal performance, instrumental portions of the song appear in the film's underscore, sometimes as an introduction to the main Pink Panther theme. The beginning of the song in the English version translates as follows: "If you're ever gonna kiss me, it had better be tonight, while the mandolins are playing and the stars are bright. If you've anything to tell me, it had better be tonight, or somebody else may tell me and whisper the words just right." Thanks in part to a hot recording by Canadian singer Michael Bublé, this familiar melody from the Pink Panther movie has enjoyed renewed popularity. We hope you enjoy our version of It Had Better Be Tonight by the great Henry Mancini. Veteran film composer Alan Silvestri, known for his movie scores from Back to the Future, Forrest Gump, and Polar Express, brings a brilliant adventure soundtrack to the 2011 blockbuster action film Captain America: The First Avenger. It's an origin story that almost entirely devotes itself to the character's formation in the 1940s and his battle against the evil, equally supernatural terrorist forces of Adolf Hitler's Nazi Germany. When a patriotic young Steve Rogers wishes to enlist to fight in the military, he is rejected because he lacks in physical stature. When he's recruited into a top-secret government program that aims to create a super soldier, however, he ends up being chosen and becomes the muscle-bound Captain America of fame. He sets out to save his friends in the European front and the battle the Nazis' equivalent super soldier, and prevents the associated group of villains from unleashing a powerful cube of mythical powers upon America. At the end of the picture, Captain America: The First Avenger shifts the hero to modern times so that he can be indoctrinated into S.H.I.E.L.D., the organization in the manner common to the long-term Marvel cinematic plan. Alvin Silvestri composed this theme for the movie, filling it with vitality and creativity and having the heroic spirit of your typical Hollywood blockbusters. Our version tonight remains very faithful to the original and promises to be a short but exciting journey through the Marvel world. And now, the Captain America March by Alan Silvestri. After 10 years of entertaining moviegoers with his Oscar-winning short films involving Wallace and Gromit, director and producer Nick Park teamed up with Peter Lord to create Chicken Run in the year 2000, the first feature-length film from Aardman Animations. At a time when the industry had transcended the look of 2D animation, Park's distinct claymation style was a throwback and potential obstacle to success. But with a witty story full of humor aimed mostly at adults, Chicken Run opened to widespread critical praise. The story is roughly based on the famed World War II set from The Great Escape, but with chickens stuck on a farm and nasty owners. Not satisfied with lives of laying eggs and eventually becoming dinner, the chickens enlist the help of a circus rooster to help them fly over the fence of their pen and enjoy freedom. The chicken coops include a variety of funny characters that each have metaphorical purposes, with the voices of Mel Gibson as the rooster and Miranda Richardson as the evil Mrs. Tweedy are the production's star power. When DreamWorks brought the distribution rights to Chicken Run, it became inevitable that either Hans Zimmer or one of his many students from Media Ventures would provide the score. And in this case, the team that brought a dynamic and funky sound to the movie Ants returned back to the job for Chicken Run. Upstart composers John Powell and Harry Gregson Williams not only provided through the years to be an effective team on various animation projects, but they individually would be recognized as the two most successful media venture products in their eventual solo careers. Now for some fun, we are happy to perform the musical theme from Chicken Run, the highest grossing stop-motion animated film ever. The phenomenal success 20 years ago of Star Wars and its two companion films, Return of the Jedi and Empire Strikes Back, renewed interest in movies as huge spectacles. Although set in future terms for we, earthbound travelers, the films are in many ways historical in nature. Frequently described as the morality plays of the film, the stories in the trilogy share a common theme of primary struggle between good and evil and eventual success of love conquering all. Of musical interest, the Star Wars project brought to international prominence the talents of John Williams, one of the most gifted, and I mean gifted, composers for film and television. In fact, I'm really surprised we got this far into the concert by only playing one of his scores, and that was Raiders of the Lost Ark right at the beginning. Williams worked in a totally different compositional style for the late 1970s in that he did not write short cue music for individual scenes, but rather composed large freestanding compositions that accompanied large segments of the film. Usually with only a few notes or measures into a John Williams composition, one can easily recognize his iconic movie music. So now, welcome the return of the Dark Lord, Darth Vader, with Williams' Imperial March, May the Force be with you, Earthlings. I was told I have to do a long intro for this one to give the brass time to recover. Espionage is an is as old as history. The first spy story that many of us learn, the biblical narrative of Samson and Delilah, is hardly the oldest. But spies have a special affinity for the movies, and there is one fictional spy in particular, guess who? James Bond, who seems born for the silver screen. The devil-may-care 007 is the very model of the modern-day movie hero. Handsome, effortlessly sexy, seemingly indestructible. Everything about him is cinematic, from the impeccable cut of his suits to his lifestyle, with its very dry, shaken but not stirred martinis, outnumbered only by beautiful women. Now, about those songs, no pressure, Mr. or Mrs. Composer, but a Bond song is expected to be a hit with musical impact to match the movie's spectacular action on the geopolitical battlefield and in the bedroom. It takes a special kind of singer to provide this kind of gripping vocalism, and the biggest stars of the day have been recruited to the cause. Over the past 5 decades, the James Bond film franchise has become a part of our national culture, providing exciting escape to those who can only dream of Aston Martins, martinis, and mayhem. The series has had numerous signature musical tracks over the years, many of which are now considered classical pieces of music. In Bond, James Bond, the band's powerful setting of several familiar musical moments include the James Bond theme, composed by Monty Norman, Goldfinger, which was music by John Barry and the words by Leslie Bricusse and Anthony Newley, Nobody Does It Better from The Spy Who Loved Me, the music by Marvin Hamlish and words by Carol Bayer Sager, Skyfall, words and music by Adele Atkins and Paul Epworth, and Live and Let Die, words and music by former Beatle Paul McCartney and wife Linda McCartney. This not-so-secret agent has been the inspiration for music that has become part of our musical culture for 5 decades. We present this powerful medley of Bond, James Bond, arranged by Stephen Bullock. Man of La Mancha has been a long-running musical adapted from Dale Wasserman's non-musical 1959 teleplay, I, Don Quixote, which was in turn inspired by Cervantes' 17th century masterpiece, Don Quixote. It tells the story of the mad knight Don Quixote as a play within a play performed by Cervantes and his fellow prisoners as he awaits a hearing with the Spanish Inquisition. The core of the musical is Cervantes, who questions whether true madness is to see life as it is or not as it should be. The original 1965 Broadway production ran for 2,328 performances and won 5 Tony Awards, including Best Musical. The musical has been revived 4 times on Broadway, becoming one of the most enduring works of the musical theater. Utilizing symphonic as well as driving Latin pop styles, arranger Justin Williams brings 4 of the most beloved numbers from the legendary musical to our concert stage tonight, including the powerful finale of The Impossible Dream. We thank you for sharing this wonderful musical interlude with us this evening. As months and even more than a year ago, it really did seem like an impossible dream. We hope you will continue coming out to support us as we can be seen live one more time this summer here at the Wildwood Amphitheater on Sunday, August 8th at 4 p.m., where the NOCB will share the stage with the NOCB Dixieland Band in a concert entitled Dixie and More. As always, thank you, good night. All good things have to come to an end. Be safe and good night.